think it's so sad that we still have such a stark gap to the statistics in female entrepreneurship in Scotland, in the UK, in the world. I think it's easy to look at the problem and see all of the good work that has been done, because I do really believe that there has been a lot done, and I think there's a real appetite to support women to start their own businesses. But when you look at the statistics, they just don't lie, and I think it's so stark. Here in Scotland, 20% of businesses are led by women, and even more shockingly, only 2% of the investment into businesses goes into female-founded businesses, and that just blows my mind, and it's so sad. I think I was lucky enough to speak at the Scottish Parliament a number of years ago about kind of the impact that could be driven by supporting women-led businesses at the same rate as we were supporting male-led businesses. And actually at the time, the research that I did said that if we funded women at the same rate as we fund men, it would absolutely negate the negative impact to the economy that Brexit had caused. So just looking at that and seeing that actually if we did make that investment, that would be of benefit to everyone. That's not just of benefit to women, it's of benefit to society. And yeah, it's just so sad that we haven't been able to meaningfully move that forward. I think there's a lot that can be done, and I'm so encouraged to see that there's definite appetite. I think the recent Pathways report, co-authored by Anna Stewart and Mark Logan, it feels like a really meaningful step forward, uncovering some of the changes that can be made to kind of just remove those barriers. Women are quite often the lead caregiver in a family, and changing the way we deliver support to businesses to be more inclusive to women, I think will unlock more inclusivity to everybody who kind of comes up against those challenges. So I think removing the barriers to entry, being open to funding more. I think that we really need to do something. Unless we're putting money into these businesses, they can't survive. And I think there's some great organisations, looking at funding women, investing women are some of our investors. There's Mint Ventures, there's a number of organisations now really putting that front and centre in their mission, and that is so wonderful to see. But I think we can't be doing enough here because the results are so stark. Oh, there's been so many people and organisations that we have benefited from the support. I think Scotland's an amazing place to start a business, and I think there's a lot of support out there. I think one of the really meaningful ones for me in the early days was we were one of the first ever winners of the Scottish Edge Award, and I think without that there is no way that Appointed would be a company. I think Entrepreneurial Spark in the early days of Appointed was so impactful. Entrepreneurial Scotland has been amazing. Our investors, Equity Gap, have been so supportive and have really seeded and given us the funds to really develop a big, brave business here in Scotland. Women's Enterprise Scotland is very focused on the kind of female entrepreneur side, Girl Geek Scotland, so many organisations, probably too many to thank. 3 important things you need to succeed as a female founder. Definitely tenacity. I think you need that as a founder of, any founder needs that, but I think definitely tenacity and kind of coming up against challenges and finding creative ways around them, trying to find the way to kind of, beat the odds, because as I've said, the odds are pretty stark. I think you need a great team around you who will kind of keep pushing that boulder as you're pushing and get behind the mission and get creative and bring that tenacity and kind of join that mission. And I think probably an extension of the team, but you need your family and your friends and kind of the people in your immediate environment to also facilitate that. I think I can't understate the importance of the support that my husband's given me. We had our daughter 5 years ago at a point in the business that was really pivotal, and actually in a year where we drove probably a real inflection point growth, and if it hadn't have been for him being so hands-on and kind of really supporting me back then and continuing to today, I think it would be really, really tough. And I think that's sadly probably the most impactful thing for a female entrepreneur, is the support that you get in the home and around your family, because it really makes a big difference.